The moment has arrived, and Sweden has emerged as the victor of the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. The internet has been abuzz with numerous voices expressing their belief that Finland should have won and calling for the abolition of jury votes. Finland garnered an overwhelming number of public votes, while Sweden secured a crushing amount of support from the jury. A comment on YouTube perfectly encapsulated the situation, stating something along the lines of, "Sweden was singing at us, while Finland was singing with us." While I must acknowledge that I am not a musical expert, I can't help but recognize that Sweden's song possessed a higher level of refinement and technical polish. On the other hand, Finland's offering exuded raw energy and exuberant fun. A side note, the lyrics of the Finnish song centered around unwinding and celebrating through drinking and partying after a long week of hard work. Although this observation has not been widely discussed, it's interesting to consider that the cha-cha-cha chant, which is associated with a dance style, could also be interpreted as a chugging contest. The performance itself could have even included elements mimicking the act of drinking alcohol during the cha-cha-cha chant. However, there is an evident and valid reason why they didn't pursue that direction. It is important to avoid appearing to endorse potentially dangerous behavior. But let's return to the subject at hand. The evaluation of songs in Eurovision is a highly subjective matter, varying greatly among individuals. Even the experts on the jury exhibit biases towards their neighboring countries, indicating that objectivity is not entirely achievable. When determining the overall value of a song, there are numerous factors to consider, including energy, fun, performance, vocals, lyrics, message, country relations, friendship, politics, instrumentals, costumes, and the list goes on. Thus, the question arises, who should determine which aspects carry the most importance? The jury's primary focus is to assess the overall quality of the song. The influence of neighboring countries may stem not only from political support, but also from shared musical preferences due to closer proximity. However, let's consider the example of Ukraine's victory in 2022. While I personally believe they had a good song, I wouldn't have ranked them as number one. However, when the public votes were revealed, it was undeniable that there was an overwhelming amount of political support and love intertwined within those numbers, reflecting solidarity with Ukraine's plight. Should we disregard or devalue such votes? I found it heartwarming, a beautiful message of unity, support, and love among countries. If we take a purely technical approach, excluding political votes, Ukraine would likely have ranked within the top 3, but not clinched the overall victory. Yet when the substantial wave of public votes emerged, I cannot deny that I was emotionally moved.
439 points! We now have a new leader with 631 points.
It was an unprecedented outpouring of support, and we all shared in that sentiment. The magnitude of support, the emotions felt, and the unity displayed were remarkable. I don't recall witnessing any complaints about it, and I believe there shouldn't have been any. Ukraine would not have won if their song was subpar, but it is undeniable that even with a lesser song, they would have secured a higher ranking due to the overwhelming support they received. They had an advantage, yes, but it was not an advantage that they hadn't earned through their own efforts. So why are people expressing discontent now? I have a hypothesis. It looks to me like the Swedish song was meticulously crafted by musical scientists in a laboratory. Every imperfection was purged to achieve an immaculate result. While the song was undoubtedly emotional and powerful, it lacked the element of fun. It fell into the category of songs that seemed destined to win, devoid of the spontaneous and vibrant spirit. This situation brings to mind an anime series called Food Wars, wherein a cooking school falls under the control of a governing body known as Central. This entity dictates precisely what types of food are deemed acceptable, demanding the elimination of any impurities. Consequently, while we may be treated to exceptional dishes, we sacrifice creativity and imagination, preventing the emergence of truly remarkable culinary creations. By allowing a touch of adventurous fun to seep in, we may create a better concoction that surpasses existing conventions. While the Eurovision jury holds similarities to Central, they do not possess absolute power, nor act as a singular entity. as depicted in Food Wars. Finland's offering, on the other hand, eschewed polished technical quality in favor of pure energy and enjoyment. The crowd erupted in wild excitement, even chanting cha-cha-cha during the vote-counting process. This aspect is what makes the previous comment so poignant. People enthusiastically sang along with Finland, whereas they observed Sweden as a technical marvel, a spectacle to behold. So why should we place such immense emphasis on technical perfection? Does this not resemble the actions of the evil Central in the anime, extinguishing any chance for victory for a more playful and spirited song? Although I was firmly in support of Finland, I find myself acknowledging that the current voting system in Eurovision has its merits, and I'm unsure how I would improve it at this moment. Allow me to present a few reasons for my stance. Firstly, the excitement of witnessing the vote-counting process unfold twice adds a thrilling element to the competition. It allows us to compare and contrast the outcomes, creating suspense and anticipation. Secondly, the presence of the jury ensures that contestants are compelled to maintain a certain level of quality in their performances. If the contest relied solely on public votes, I believe it would become more influenced by political factors, fame, and viral trends. The essence of Eurovision could be at risk of devolving into a relentless pursuit of attention, akin to algorithms on TikTok or other platforms, which often prioritize generating clicks or votes in this case. To illustrate this point, take a look at Lithuania in 2006.
Are the winners of Eurovision. We are. So you gotta vote for the winners. Vote.
I'm sorry, but what a shit show. They managed to secure a respectable 5th place. This demonstrates that tactics such as these can and will yield results. Even though they didn't emerge as the ultimate victors, the fact that they achieved 5th place serves as a compelling demonstration of how one can strive to forcefully attain a favorable ranking. The current evaluation system presents us with a remarkable amalgamation of various factors, where numerous elements hold significance. It becomes crucial to maintain the quality of the song amidst this intricate mix. Otherwise, relying solely on public votes may prove inadequate for securing victory. I firmly believe that Finland had the potential to win if they had managed to enhance the song's quality while preserving its inherent appeal. Undoubtedly, this task was immensely challenging. Yet perhaps discovering that perfect combination, a concoction precisely tailored for Eurovision triumph, was the key they were missing. It is worth noting that many juries did not allocate any points to Finland, and only a handful awarded them the coveted 12 points. Although I am by no means an expert, I can comprehend to some extent the reasons behind this outcome. I believe the most disheartening aspect was witnessing the crowd enthusiastically chanting cha-cha-cha, eagerly anticipating the song's replay, seeking more joy and revelry. To rectify this situation, I propose implementing a revised system wherein 2 performances would conclude the event, one chosen based on the highest score awarded by the jury, and another selected through the majority of public votes. In conclusion, it is my belief that Eurovision voting should not be taken overly seriously. The absence of clearly defined criteria for evaluating acts renders the process highly unscientific, to say the least. Furthermore, even if some political factors do come into play, the numerical values assigned by countries provide some insight into the potential causes behind these numbers. For instance, Ukraine's victory was particularly moving, as a simple number on a screen can foster a sense of closeness among European and neighboring nations. Eurovision is ultimately a festive celebration characterized by diverse backgrounds and experiences. Despite the presence of a discernible central bias, the final outcome is not solely determined by this bias. It exists primarily to prevent the show's quality from descending into chaos. Although biases abound from various places, based on placement history, I believe anyone has the potential to emerge victorious or face defeat. While some may possess certain advantages, they can still be overcome by crafting an extraordinary song that encapsulates all the essential elements required for a triumphant performance. Ultimately, Eurovision stands as a remarkable European celebration, uniting a multitude of diverse backgrounds and fostering solidarity, harmony, and unity across the continent. It's crazy, it's party, it's just Eurovision. That's all for now. See you next time in Flamethrower Light.